The Galactic Federation Military Academy had never seen anything quite like Cadet James Morgan. The human stood a mere 1.8 meters tall, practically diminutive compared to the towering Vraxians or the bulky Tellurians, yet his presence sent ripples of unease throughout the facility. A Deathworlder, Sergeant Clax, had hissed when he first reviewed the cadet files. His secondary membranes fluttered in agitation. They approved a Deathworlder for live weapons training? Lieutenant Droon merely nodded, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. Orders from command. Apparently, the human's application to the Federation has advanced to Phase 3 integration. They're sending their best. Their best? Clax snorted, a sound that bubbled through his respiratory slits. Their planet is designated as Class 9 Death. Gravity 3.2 times our standard. Atmospheric toxins. Predators everywhere. Extreme temperature variations. Even their microbes are aggressive, which is precisely why Command is interested, Droon replied. Now stop complaining and make the necessary preparations. On the first day of training, Sergeant Clax assembled the cadets on the firing range. 26 aliens from across the galaxy, representing 18 different species, and 1 human. Listen up, cadets, Clax bellowed. This week you'll be working with live plasma weapons. These aren't toys. One wrong move, and you could vaporize yourself or your squad mate. He eyed Morgan suspiciously. The human stood rigidly at attention, face expressionless. Unlike the other cadets, whose exoskeletons or scales provided natural protection, the human was unsettlingly soft, covered only in that thin layer they called skin and the standard-issue uniform. The V-712 plasma rifle has a kickback that can shatter bones. Clax continued, deliberately staring at Morgan. It fires ionized plasma at temperatures exceeding 15,000 degrees. One shot can melt through standard hull plating. Cadet Glix, a cerulean with 6 appendages, raised a trembling limb. Sir, is it true we're firing these on the outdoor range with actual targets? Affirmative, Cadet. Welcome to Advanced Weapons Training. Clax's mouthparts twisted into what passed for a grin among his species. Anyone feeling unprepared can withdraw now. No shame in knowing your limitations. No one moved, though several cadets visibly trembled. Morgan simply blinked, a peculiar human gesture that always unnerved Clax. By the 3rd day, 2 cadets had dropped out after minor injuries from weapon recoil. The remaining trainees were progressing adequately, though most required medical attention for muscle strain or exoskeleton stress fractures after each session. Morgan, however, was thriving. He doesn't even take breaks, whispered Cadet Orillo to his bunkmate. Yesterday, I saw him running extra drills after hours. I heard humans evolved from pursuit predators, replied Cadet Vreen. They chase prey until it collapses from exhaustion. Sergeant Clax overheard their conversation and scowled. The human's performance was concerning. Not only was Morgan hitting targets with alarming accuracy, but he seemed completely unfazed by the physical demands. No complaints about the rifle's weight or recoil. No signs of fatigue. Lieutenant Clax reported that evening. The human is showing abnormal resilience. He's completing every drill at 97% efficiency. Droon peered at the datapad. Is this a problem, Sergeant? It's unnatural. His endurance exceeds our projections by 340%. And yesterday, when Cadet Phobos accidentally discharged his weapon near Morgan's position, the human didn't even flinch. He just adapted and continued firing. Interesting, Droon murmured. Continue monitoring. By the 6th day, Sergeant Clax was officially worried. The training exercises had escalated to include moving targets, environmental hazards, and stress conditions. Most cadets were barely functioning, requiring stimulants just to complete the basic courses. Morgan had asked for more ammunition. Sir, the human had approached him during the midday break, permission to attempt the advanced course. Clax had stared in disbelief. The advanced course was designed for 3rd-year cadets with specialized training. Denied, Cadet. That course is beyond your clearance level. Understood, sir. The human had nodded respectfully before returning to his position, leaving Clax feeling strangely uneasy. Later that night, reviewing the day's surveillance footage, Clax froze. There was Morgan, running the advanced course after hours, unauthorized and alone, and he was completing it with near-perfect scores. Clax immediately calmed Lieutenant Droon. "Sir, we have a situation." On the final day, as cadets prepared for their evaluation, an alarm blared across the facility. "Perimeter breach in Sector 7, announced the automated system. Hostile indigenous predators detected. All personnel to secure locations." Chaos erupted as cadets scrambled for safety. The Vraxian twins froze in terror. Katie Glix began emitting distress pheromones. Several others huddled behind barricades. Amidst the panic, Sergeant Clax noticed Morgan calmly retrieving his rifle and checking its charge. "Cadet, get to the bunker immediately," Clax ordered. Morgan looked up, his alien face unreadable. "With respect, sir, I can help. My species has extensive experience with predator defense." Before Clax could respond, 3 massive reptilian creatures burst into the training yard, all teeth and claws and primal hunger. Cadets screamed, the creatures lunged, and Morgan moved. What followed left every alien witness shaken to their core. The human executed a series of fluid movements, firing with precision while constantly repositioning. He didn't just target the predators, he herded them, manipulated their movements, exploited their instincts against them. Within minutes, the threat was neutralized. The training yard fell silent. What was that?" Lieutenant Droon finally asked, emerging from the command center. Morgan lowered his weapon. "Basic predator response, sir. Nothing special." Later, in a secured communication to Galactic Command, Sergeant Clax filed his report. "The human cadet's performance exceeds all parameters. Their natural affinity for weapons, tactical thinking, and combat readiness suggests humans aren't merely surviving on their div world. They're evolutionarily optimized for warfare. If this specimen represents their standard capabilities, I strongly recommend reconsidering their Federation membership application. They don't need our protection, we might need theirs." Command's response was brief. "Integration proceeding as planned. Prepare for Phase 4. Sergeant Clax stared at the message, a cold feeling spreading through his thorax. What exactly was the Federation planning?